Good morning. It's Little Lake Babies, and it is a new day and a new year. Happy 2019. Hope you all are recuperated from celebrating last night. Um, yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it? And I just want to thank all those people that emailed me or messaged me and were concerned about how I was and what was going on and how come I hadn't videoed and well, thank you very much. Really, I'm fine. There's been a number of things that have happened. I guess my last video, anyway, I'm here with Ava. Whoops, great. I got to get used to videoing again, not hitting the tripod. I'm here with my little Ava girl. Yeah, I'm gonna dress her in a pretty dress. Um, I guess the last time that I videoed was the week before Christmas, and yeah, and then I was gonna make another video right before Christmas because I needed to make another one too. But then the Saturday before Christmas, if I can get this right in my brain, um, I was home alone, and it was probably around 11 o'clock. And I was just cleaning, and I had a bowl in my hand, and I was walking from the living room to the dining room, and usually and there's a step there. There's one step there, and usually when I do that, I walk straight on. I take a step and walk straight on to the kitchen or the front door or something like that. But this time, because this bowl that I had in my hand, I wanted to put on the dining room table, I walked catty corner. I didn't walk straight. I walked catty corner to the step. And when I took a step, when I took my a step onto the step, I was wearing socks and my foot slipped off. And I went down hard. I crashed into the wood floor, first hitting my head on the bowl that I had in my hand, and then crashing completely my face onto the floor with my whole body just fell. I mean, my feet slipped out and bang, I went down. When I lifted my face up, well, blood was just pouring out, and I could see it all on the floor where my face had hit. And then I realized that it was dripping on, I could feel it on my face, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I picked my shirt up that I had on and held it to my face because I knew that I needed to stop the bleeding. There was just so much of it, and it was coming so fast, and I had to do something, and I put the pressure of my shirt onto my face as I sat there trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what was I going to do? I knew I had to get help. I knew I had to call somebody, and my phone was in the other room, and somehow I was able to get my miserable body up and get my phone and call my husband, who was at the gym, who in typical form could not hear me. I could hear him say hello, he could hear the phone ring, but then it didn't transmit. So I tried him again. I tried him 3 times, and he would go, hello, hello, is this you? Well, I can't hear you. And then I'd try again, and the same thing would happen. So then I thought, oh, this is not working. I've got to get help. My head by this time was starting to just pound, and the bleeding had not stopped. My shirt now, the front of my shirt was soaked, and and I had gotten a hand towel too, and was now using that to. So then I called my son, and he said, Mom, I'm going to call Dad, but I'm coming over too. And I said, okay. Well, they both arrived about the same time, I would say 7 to 10 minutes later, and I was still sitting on the floor holding this towel to myself, waiting for somebody to come. And they both came. They took me to the emergency room and at the hospital. And 4 hours later, after an ultrasound to make sure I wasn't bleeding on the brain, they had to stop the bleeding and packed my nose up and decided that, well, what had happened was I had cut myself from my the top of my left eyebrow all the way into about the middle of my forehead. There was a huge, I would say 2.5 inch slash. I mean, well, so I had to get stitches. So they stitched me up, and after like I said, 4.5 hours, I left, and I came home, and I just went to bed with pain medication. I mean, my head was splitting, and first of all, I, with my husband's help, was able to take my bloody clothes off and get into the shower and just rinse off a little bit and put my nightgown on, and I went to bed. And I basically went to bed for 2 days. That Sunday and Monday, I couldn't do anything. My head was pounding. My face looked like I had been run over by a Mack truck. I had 2 huge black eyes. My nose swelled up. I had this giant ball right on the ridge of it. And even my lip swelled to the point where I couldn't talk. And my teeth ached, everything. I mean, and then after 2 days, I started to feel it in my arms. I had bruises on my knees where I'd hit. My body was a wreck after that. You don't fall like I fell and not feel it. So anyway, that kind of ruined Christmas for me, but I was able to get through that. And then the day after Christmas, we decided to continue on with our plans, which were to drive over to Naples and visit with family and friends. And that's what we did. We went over there. And that was actually very nice because I got waited on. you know, they were just, when they saw me, I mean, they had heard what happened. And then, of course, to see me, yeah, I didn't even want to sit at the table and eat because I didn't want people to have to look at my face. But they were so kind and loving, and everybody wanted to help me, and I didn't have to cook, and so really it was perfect. And they were all family and really close friends, so I didn't have to worry about it. Anyway, well, then we got back on. What is today? This is Tuesday. Oh, I had my stitches out on Friday, and then we got back on. I had them out over there. I just went to one of the doctors that they knew, and they took them out. And then we got back on Saturday. Sunday I cleaned. Yesterday I didn't do much. I was just glad to be home. And it was New Year's Eve, and then here we are today. So that was my Christmas and New Year's. I'm feeling so much better. I at least look human now. The swelling has gone down considerably. And so has the black. Now it's more yellow and green on my face. And having the stitches out was a big help. Okay, I'm going to put this precious angel in this angel dress for the new year, and these little pants, and this little bonnet. This is a petite amie. Yeah. So it's such a pretty little dress that I just like dressing her in something sweet. Let's put this like this. Whoops. I better pick that up, or you know who. Oh, Lala says, Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And so does Jack. They're both fine. They survived it all. They laid with me in the bed and were perfect. And then when we went away, one of my sons came over and stayed and took care of them both. So they're fine. Yeah, everybody's fine now that Mama's better. It was a bad deal for a while, but she's better now, thank goodness. Oh, boy. Anyway, I wanted to tell you what I've been doing. Because I've had some time on my hands, I didn't want to go out and show my face, even at the grocery store. And when I was over in Naples, I put a huge hat on and sunglasses and a scarf and kind of went incognito so nobody would see me, because I'm sure they would have thought I had gotten beaten up by my sweet, sweet, precious husband. Anyway, so one of the things that I've been doing is I've been watching a YouTube channel called Southwest Florida Eagle Camp. And that is a camera that has been set up over an eagle's nest. And it has been so interesting for me to watch. She's got this couple they both feed the babies, they both hunt, they both take care of the nest as a pair. I'm not sure if they mate for life, but they may. And yeah, so finally the first baby hatched, and then about 2.5 days later, the second baby hatched. Well, everything was doing great until the second baby hatched, and the first baby didn't like it because that baby was getting all the food. And when the second baby started crying and wanting food, the first baby attacked it and started beating it in the head, beating it in the neck, and picking on it. And I was like, "Stop it! Stop it! Don't do that! No, no!" And anyway, I felt, I don't want to watch this video if there's going to be, death. I only want to have happy endings. So I didn't watch it for one day. And then when I went back the next day, everything seemed to have been resolved. And the older baby was allowing the younger baby to eat. I'm going to put this bonnet on her. And they seemed to have resolved. She seemed to have realized that she had a sibling and she was just going to have to share the food. And there's plenty. Both parents are just bringing all this stuff. And the thing is, that's so interesting to me that I didn't realize. You're used to seeing songbirds feed their babies and do things with their babies, and that they go and they get the food, and then they come back to the nest with the food and feed the baby, and then go out and get more food. Well, in this particular case, these eagles bring the food to the nest and leave it at the nest. So after a while, there's food all around the outside of the nest. There's fish, there's a squirrel, and these things are dead. And they pick at them and pick at the food and feed the babies this way. I'm going to run out of something here. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to have to. Anyway, I'm back, and I'll make another video too, because I wanted to talk to you about what I'm going to do with clothes that I'm going to sell. All right, I've missed you all so much. I'm so happy that I'm back and that things are feeling good. And can you see this precious girl's face? There she is. Oh, yeah, my little baby girl. Okay, Happy New Year, and I will see you all. I'm getting that clicking noise on yeah. Okay, love you guys. Bye. See you soon.